the Show Me Institute. Good morning, David Stokes.
Good morning. You people wake up early.
We do. News never sleeps around here.
This is tough.
This is early. It's 7:20. We've been up for 3 hours already. Well, Kelly's been up for 10 minutes. The rest of us have been up for hours.
Why you're saying that?
Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
That was an indiscriminate knock on you for no reason.
Well, just random attacks between co-anchors. We need more of that in radio and television.
So the loop trolley. What do you have against the loop trolley? It's a great little trolley.
That's just it.
Yeah.
It's a great little trolley.
Yeah.
It's the little trolley that could go over budget and did. And here's my colleague Joe Miller wrote a terrific post up at showmeinstitute.org that I encourage everybody to check out for a detailed explanation of what's wrong with this. It's not that a project went over budget. The project goes over budget. Projects go over budget all the time. But that's the point. They always undersell these big transit or transportation, whatever projects they are. And the loop trolley is not an enormous cost, I think, comparatively speaking. But, it's time and time again, people get played for the suckers. If you had to hear the real cost, maybe people wouldn't approve these things. But so they undersell it. They build no room for error for problems, which is what they did in the loop trolley case.
They're $8 million over budget.
And they built.
That's a lot of over budget.
It's about 20%. So in case $8 million, if it sounds whether it sounds high or low, it's about almost 20%, which is significant
for a $40 million project. $8 million, as you say, is a lot of money.
Right, and they get it to the point where they undersell it, be it all sorts of different transportation projects and transit projects. They undersell it. So that then when it goes over budget, well, you can say, well, we can't stop now. We've got these big holes dug. We're 2/3 there. You have to give us the extra $8 million, and they're taking $5 million from federal transit dollars, which have already been given to the region. So don't just think that it's the feds have stepped in and saved the day. We could be using this money for buses or light rail or all sorts of other projects around this region.
Or for a trolley. Do you have a problem with the trolley itself?
The trolley, it doesn't, as Joe Miller says in his article, trolleys are there for boutique parts of cities that have more money than sense, to quote him. There's going to be no transportation benefit of this. This trolley is being put in one of the better parts of the region served by public transit, be it buses or light rail. You're not doing this for improved transportation. It's just going to be a very, very expensive toy, and it's harmed some of the businesses along the route during construction. And maybe it will benefit them when it's done. Joe Edwards certainly thinks it will. Other city and city officials think it will. Maybe it won't. Putting a trolley right through Delmar where people are walking and biking and riding is going to be an issue, and we'll see. The problem for me is, again, the underselling of the cost, knowing that when it goes over budget inevitably, they'll just go back to the taxpayers for general tax dollars, and it's frustrating.
I was going to say, who is paying for the overrun then? Who does it fall on?
The $8 million is planned on coming from $5 million in federal money that's already been given to the region. So it's money that we could have spent on more transportation money we could have spent on projects that move people. And now we're going to spend it on this toy trolley, and $3 million they want to take from county transportation sales tax funds. So that's general county revenue, which general revenue dedicated towards transportation, which they're going to ask for to finish the cost of the trolley.
722, Big 550 KTRS. While we have you, the Ways and Means Committee held an outdoor meeting on the riverfront yesterday, getting all sorts of public input on the new $1 billion stadium, which will clearly not go over budget.
Right.
It looks like that's a done deal, at least in terms of the financing of it all.
Well, and I think was this a Ways and a Ways and Means committee hearing, or was it like a pep rally?
Well,
I mean, it seems very strange.
There were pros and cons on both. There were people who were complaining, and there were people who were cheering. So I don't think it's probably the first Ways and Means committee where they were also, cooking brats and drinking beer.
Right, and introduced by an announcer as the alderman took the field.
They took the stage.
To sit there with our special guest host.
It was one of the more bizarre governmental hearings, I guess you would say. But they're going to vote on this, and from all accounts, it looks like the aldermen are going to pass this. And now we just sit and wait for the NFL to grant us a team, right? I mean, that's $1 billion.
At least they're allowing the aldermen to actually vote on it. I mean,
Well, that's nice of them.
Well, it is nice of them. We're going to spend $400 million in city money. Let's actually get a vote as opposed to the.
It's not just city money; it's city and state money. So they're not allowing the state legislative body to vote on it, but they are allowing the city legislative body to vote on it.
They do, and we actually have testimony that was presented to the Board of Aldermen on this. Again, my colleague Joe Miller, and you can see the testimony he provided on why this is a bad use of public funds.
Seems like
that's what it comes down to for us. This is not private stadiums are not, or stadiums that might be owned by the city but benefit private companies are not an appropriate use of tax dollars.
Seems like Joe Miller's doing a lot of writing. What are you doing over there?
I do a lot of talking about Joe Miller's writing.
Joe Miller.
This is what we do. He does the hard work, and I come on and gab with my buddies.
There you go. David Stokes, Show Me Institute Policy Development Director. I apologize. What's the website? One more time.
ShowMeInstitute.org. Thanks, McGraw. Thanks, Kelly.
Joe Miller, thank you. And David Stokes, Big 550, KTRS.